Alright, greetings. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a rough subject matter. I don't think this is. I mean, this has been explored by other people, not very often, from what it looks like. It's because of this whole Barbie thing and all the fight that's going on with it, which is, I think, hilarious in a lot of ways. But I know it's like so she's an adult, but she's a kid. And so you see it from a kid's point of view, but she's an adult, and this movie's not for kids. It's like, whatever. It's a mess, is what it is. It's manipulation. So it doesn't know what it is, does it? Anyway. But anyway, I was thinking, like, people think Barbie's bad. What with the Cabbage Patch Kid? That's worse. So I looked into it a little bit more, and it got more bizarre, things I didn't even know about. Of course, I was never that interested in the Cabbage Patch Kids. I know about the Garbage Pail Kids. I remember growing up with that. And now when I look at it now, I was like, God, that's so psychotic. But I remember growing up with all that stuff, though, but not the Cabbage Patch Kids. But the Cabbage Patch Kids come with like a birth certificate. It's fucking weird. But it goes back to 1800s, probably even further than that. And there's also like orphan trains. There's actually orphans on a train. And it's just like even like kids are grown from the ground or some kind of nonsense. There's like weird postcards of kids being grown, and it's creepy as hell. And it does kind of get you to think like the cloning. I mean, alien energies have been around, technology's been around here forever. It's just not so accessible to us, at least not through history, at least. Where there could easily be, it does feel like there are countries where there are cloned people, a lot of them, and there's no way for us to know. Of course, you have the elite and also in their bloodlines and how they keep track of that. Not to say it's through cloning, but some of it can be cloning gone wrong and things like that. Anyway, it gets creepy. So when you start looking at things a little bit differently, we have to look outside, outside what we're used to looking at things. Of course, you can't see the full picture, but when you look at, they have like postcards of kids and stuff like that. It's like so far out. I want to go, but so it's like disclaimer for some of this. But it's they put this stuff out there. They pass it off like it's nothing. Even the garbage, the Cabbage Patch Kids even have a birthing center right now. I forget where it's at. It's actually, I remember hearing about this a while back. I didn't think much into it until, I mean, they literally like have a birthing thing, and you can, there's an orphan kid, and you can, whatever. It's bad. So going to the Cabbage Patch Kids and all the occult energy that's there. Yeah, it's creepy. Also, Christian magicians. Of course, in Christianity, you don't really think about magic all that much, which I believe goes more into Atlantean energies, Rosicrucian energies. Of course, when you have your average Christian, is just like a normal person, of course, but then you have black magic behind that somewhere. Of course, you mentioned Christian, all of a sudden it's supposed to mean like they're good people and all. That's not always the case. Sometimes it is. Like we're moral and all. It's like a cult, basically. And now it's going into the alien, creating alien religions and all of that secretly. Of course, if you say anything like that, you're looked down upon. Of course you are. Yeah, it's getting bad. We're just seeing the birth of a new cult era right now through the UFO secret space programs. You're literally seeing it right in front of your eyes if you want to see it. Obviously, many are already joined into it, lost, confused. Like I said, some of those, like in those currently that are Christian, that are now more UFO awakened people. They have experiences with grays being abducted. Some of them being indoctrinated into the brainwashing that's currently going on now. And they just use this experience as, look at me, I had this experience, when actually they kind of sold themselves out, or completely sold themselves out. And of course, when they come off as a common person, a cool person, like a surfer dude and things like that, people can relate to them. I mean, people here are just not strong enough to break free of all of this. They're just, it's very sophisticated what's going on here. So it just gets better and better. The Christian magicians, yeah, it goes back to Jesuit energies also, of course. And that's when you go back to the black magician energy. That's obviously here hidden. That's not part of the mind control on so many different levels, which is hard to fully pick up on. I mean, they're throwing so much stuff at us, you can't catch everything. Especially when it comes to kids programming and all that, which I'm gonna have no interest in, but obviously it's all through that. And Aeon, Flux, it's an anime. The girl she's like altered a great deal. Like things come out of her skin and all that's freaking bizarre. She drinks things, her eyeballs change different colors, and it's just like she's like an AI type of thing. But the Aeon Flux, it's a movie, it's an anime TV show, which is also part of a society of clones. So there's a disease that wiped out their whole society, and then they created clones to survive. They kept creating clones, through every generation just to keep the human alive. And eventually, when they found a cure to the disease, now they can start, having children without cloning them anymore. Of course, all that went to hell in the movie, but still, it's it doesn't mean some of that's not happening here to some level. We'll just never know. But I mean, there's definitely, like alien technology, all this technology stuff's always been here. Just we're not aware of it. They don't want us to know for obvious reasons. Obviously, it's screw with history. But to have cloning societies that have been cloned that we'll never know about, at least not right now, at least. Well, you see Biden, you see that, and you see some of his actors and all that, and that's just modern times. But in the past, nobody's noticing anything. They're having all those wars and throughout history, to keep all that stuff hidden. And they even put out in front of people, but what are you going to do? Like they definitely had, like, they did see aliens and all that and creatures in the past. And of course, it's all been hidden for obvious reasons. So going to the Cabbage Patch Kids energies and got that twisted nightmare. Jeez. Gets better and better, doesn't it? Yeah, that's more creepy than a Cabbage Patch Kid. Man, I thought it was ready. No. 1 second. Okay. All right, this is I haven't told a comment prayer sessions. Schedule. We have a shop here, and we'll just leave it at that. Keep it quick. Besides that, we're going to go into the bazaar. And some people already are aware of this stuff, but I'm just not a subject matter I go into very often. Of course, you have your regular Cabbage Patch Kids. There's Babyland, where they're born. I think I've talked about this like ages ago, but yeah, it's in Cleveland, Georgia. But yeah, this is where they're born somewhere. I'm not sure. Yeah. Had Cabbage Patch. Yeah, it's Where is it? I think they showed a picture of it here somewhere. It's like birth. Yeah. Lovely. It's Babyland or hell. It's fucked up. But you have Cabbage Patch Kids, postcards. Bunch of kids being grown. It's freaking creepy as shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much in this. It's creepy. Of course, they have the Orphan train. It's like, what? I mean, they put this stuff in plain sight. Nobody says anything about it. Of course, back then, survival is everything. So the 1800s. This is all the same stuff. It's creepy as hell. It's just none of this feels right. So it's just a piece of it. So anyway, I mean, they're putting the Oregon train, the Orphan train, which I'm not that familiar with, the Orphan train. Of course, there's not much on that, unless I didn't spell it right. Oh. Yeah, the Orphan trains. They're all just orphans. Probably something most people haven't even heard about. Yeah, where the orphans come from, exactly. I mean, so it's like, obviously it's a history that's been buried, but certain details can come out of it. Anyway, enough of that. So, yeah, it's kind of like a disturbing energy when it comes down to it. I mean, it just looked like it was the 80s when the Cabbage Patch Kids were out. I mean, even that's just creepy as shit. Of course, you don't see much of it nowadays, but they are doing that birthing situation, which makes that I don't believe many people are aware of. So I think they think it's all cute and cuddly when it's actually creepy as hell. So, all right, we're going to the Cabbage Patch Kids consciousness. The occult energy is connected to it. Of course, Christian magician frequencies. Obviously, your average Christian is not aware of or able to handle, or just beyond their understanding. Same thing with the secret space program stuff. Like I say, Christians go into that. I think they're awoke and all that. Look all cool. Look like they're surfer people. Everybody's pretty. The pretty people club come almost like an elitist group. And it's like, it's just the same thing as a Christian manipulation, like we see in the churches and everything. It's just now gone alien. And how many are seeing that? Sorry to say, not many. So I think some are seeing it, but just the numbers aren't that high. Discernment fail once again. And then cloning energies that are going on currently. Yeah. All right, blessings. Here we go. Brings the consciousness of the Cabbage Patch Kids, or yes, the occults, basically. Well, they're controlling children, obviously, through their minds. Of course, yeah, society this is why you're going through an awakening, maybe not a huge awakening, because some of the subject matters can be very disturbing. Yes, you hear about human trafficking, but what about bringing children into this world in unnatural forms or unnatural ways? So obviously human trafficking obviously is a big subject matter, but how humans are manufactured into this world is not quite understood. So yes, it's been going on for centuries, forever. It's just they start making themselves known, and they figure no one's going to figure it out anyway, so who cares? But as you know, those that have like a that can handle this stuff, how far you want to go with it. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Some are better off just living, a peaceful life. But as you go more further into this type of knowledge, it does get kind of unsettling. But the beings here just don't care. Yes, of how they bring the kids in the world and then what they do with them later. As some of you have noticed. Yes, human trafficking, yes, is a huge problem. Yes. But there's also much of where these orphans are coming from. And just there's a whole engineering system here. Well, it has to do with the mind control that's going on. It's all about the mind when it comes down to it, which many have not quite figured out yet. How complicated it is, break out of mind control. Obviously, the human body is weak in many ways, fragile. Let's put it that way. It's strong, it's very advanced, but also very fragile. But the mind is still quite complicated. And obviously, a lot of programming is done to it, especially at a young age. But even adults are missing a great deal. Of course, Disney has proven that they're trying to get away with things, and it's not working as it used to. But they did it in the past and it worked out great. That's why they're doing all this whole gender situation. It's just more people are awakened to. They're seeing it more clearly. They're catching it a lot faster than they have in the past, because everything is more subtle in the past than it is now. It's subtle now, but more are awakened within themselves, which is good. There's still a lot more. Basically, a company like Disney shouldn't even exist. If you really want to get down to it. Anything that's doing anything with children, at least in that manner, should be closed down. Obviously, people are not quite ready for that. Well, it's part of their childhood, it's part of their programming, their mental programming. It's gone on for 100 years or so. It makes them feel good. It's like candy for the mind, you can say. Well, some of them are born through that consciousness, through mind control consciousness. So it's like they choose a certain program. Some of you choose a program to be more awakened. And yes, it's very lonely there, as you can see. But many are just to go where it's comfortable. They want to feel good throughout their incarnation. And, they enjoy the programming for a while, but this is the awakening that you're looking for. Obviously, not many will be listening too much, but you're to break this old pattern. Cabbage Patch energies. Eventually, that'll be more disclosed over time. A lot of that information has been hidden for obvious reasons, lost in time. But there are some remnants you can find here and there, some clues. Well, they're just the elites don't care. They manufacture their own kids, basically. They do that now. The designer children, same thing. It's nothing like it was done in the past, though. So, this is... Greens, the consciousness of this Christian magician frequency, which actually goes back to the Jesuit energy of mind control. Basically, the adults in the room, basically. The beings that control the room, control the ideas that come into your planet. It's basically set the agendas. Of course, there's other beings involved with this too, but just say it's through the Jesuit frequency because this is a Christian subject matter. So they feel like they're the ones that have ascended and evolved. So many are talking about ascension, but they really know the full context of that. It's like, what about the ones that already have ascended and controlling our reality? Look where they are. Whereas they is not being known that much for obvious reasons. They do not want to be seen or heard or even connect to their energy. They don't want anything to do with you. It does come back to magician frequencies of your ancient world, of course. So it's just hidden. Now, how many? Yes, once again, How many really want to dabble into that type of knowledge? Someone just want to live a good life, have, raise kids, be with the family, and that's it. and claim they know it all, which probably is safer. It's kind of like you're on a boat and you just want to keep things level and safe when things are getting, I mean, basically some of you are here to not be safe and to, move things around. You just have to. Not many are up for that task. Most aren't. They say they are. It's like saying that they're wanting to take some rest, but they're just chewing like some gum or something, or doing some kind of like marijuana or something like that. It matters. Or some kind of hard edge drug that doesn't mean anything either. Right, to them, that is hard edge. It goes deeper than that when you go into magician energies. When you go into their realm, obviously, it's not for everybody. But they know when you're coming. They can feel you tapping into their frequency. Once again, they're not known to be seen or known by a name for that matter. But they control those that are just, once again, want the good wife. And some of you obviously want to reveal a great deal. But they're not always realizing what you're here to. Like awakening, what is that exactly? So it's not for everybody, obviously. Somewhere, yes, the cute world, the attractive world, that's where many are. That's where they feel more safe there. Especially like a healthy experience here. But some of you are not here for that. Once again, those numbers are very small. So obviously, your average Christian has no idea, and probably never will either. They'll deny it. Once again, they want a good life, and so that will be delivered to them. And if some of you are here to shake things up a little bit, obviously, you're going to have the opposite of a good life. But at least you're getting somewhere where society is mostly asleep. Well, because it wants to be. That's all I can handle. Brings the cloning consciousness of your reality. It's up to you for how deep you want to go. And yes, it's not for everybody. You're going to hear that a lot. But the cloning energy it's sprinkled throughout your society. It's not to be seen for obvious reasons. You can speculate the energies of it are pretty well hidden overall. But if you have an idea that is here, even companies you might even tap into, that it's like, some cloning energy coming from this company for some bizarre reason, like Pfizer and other medical companies. It's like, why do I feel cloning energy coming from, or a military base or military presence, which a lot of clones are put into the military for obvious reasons. The drones. So obviously your regular people, some are clones that have just a simple mindset to lead your earth, lead your world. So it's not always going to explain itself. It doesn't have to. It's been going on for thousands of years. It's not something they're just going to just tell you where it's happening, give you a little clue here and there. I mean, they give you clues, but they usually go nowhere. That's why you have to trust your senses. And it won't always make itself clear. I mean, some of you do clone yourself astrally to protect yourself. Especially when it's like on astral level, cloning your own self is actually making yourself stronger. There's always a new version of yourself. Let's put it that way. Obviously, some aren't ready for that one. But obviously, the organic cloning is happening. Yeah, if you can clone yourself astral, which is not that hard, you just put it in your mind and you do it, and just like that. Usually, like I said, it's for embetterment, but you're doing that for yourself. Now, if someone else can clone your energy. It won't be an exact copy, but it can be an altered version. It might have like a strange personality, like you see with some of your celebrities. Of course, it's hard to tell. But yeah, they take that clone energy from the astral and put it into a body, like some of your celebrities. All of a sudden, a celebrity is very different. So, different color in their facial or body tone, whatever it might be. And sometimes the clones always that different. So, there's a little bit of insight there.